Atmospheric News update this morning. My name remains Israeli Belime, and always on my studio, our analyst is Alhaji Mustafa Abdul Malik. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, doctor.
Yeah, what's going on? How are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
Fine. The whole of that happened yesterday. Yeah. Let's just go at least a little bit. The issues that happened yesterday in the country. Also, looking at we're still going to look at the election in the U.S. The Democrat and Republican midterm election, and you can see the
trend,
trend, and the emergence
one thing that marvels me about them is just the level of their own sophistication in their democracy. Can we get there in Nigeria?
But it's almost back to back. That's not like one party. I would say, oh, the whole party were incumbent, we all carried go.
Yeah, okay, that is what we are talking about here.
Yes.
Their own day is more or less they are reacting to the situation in their country, the economy, and this and that. Unlike here now that you said because you are a ruling party, you are sure of your victory. There is not like that. In fact, based on the projection, Republicans were projected that they are going to sweep the House and the Senate. But look at what is happening now. Although they now win majority in the Congress, but in the Senate it's like even.
It's like exactly.
Yeah. So it's I pray we get there. By the time we get there, in our own democracy, certainly Nigeria will be okay.
I think that's a strong signal to our Nigerian politicians, especially in Africa, African politics. I think we have a whole lot to also study.
A lot to do.
A whole lot to study because when I looked at the analysis on the CNN yesterday, it shows you that.
And another fantastic aspect of it is now discovered that since Joe Biden, who is the Democrat and the ruling party, you now discover that you use this midterm election to sit up and finish his term.
Yes.
You understand? Unlike us here, whereby even if somebody,
if he's in control,
if he's in, even he's not going to be in the control of the Congress right now. Exactly. You already know that.
Yes, exactly.
So he's going to adjust to his administration now to streamline to the opposition from the Congress. You understand? And it will.
But do not forget that usually you do lobby.
Yeah, the lobby. You see, that is the beauty of democracy.
Exactly.
You must lobby. Unlike us here, you discover that the executive will decide to do whatever he like, and the legislature will support him. But their own is not going to be like that. Now that the Nancy Pelosi is not going to be the speaker again, certainly Joe Biden is in trouble, and he will sit up and make sure he deliver.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. In case you are joining for the first time, do not forget to follow us on our social media handle. Our social media handle on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on Facebook, also on YouTube. YouTube is one of our major, where we drop our major content. When you're watching us right now from live, also watching us live from our Facebook page. Do not forget to comment. In case you want to join on this conversation, please, our numbers are displayed on the screen in front of you. Just send us SMS on WhatsApp, or you call us on WhatsApp to AFV if you want to contribute on this our discussions. And in case also you want to send us information what's happening around you, do not forget to send us through the WhatsApp number displayed on the screen, +234 +234 8099998117, and I repeat +234 8099998117. We have more content for you on our channel, on our website channel, so you can read more news, more update, and our breaking news stories on www.asfericnews.com. I repeat, www.asfericnews.com. Our social media handle remains, as I said earlier, Aspheric News at Instagram, Aspheric News on Twitter, official Aspheric News, that is on our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us. This morning, we will begin on this day newspaper, reviewing on this day newspaper. On this day newspaper, we have Wike G7 governors still open to reconciliation with PDP leaders. Alleges.
Well, it's that is the beauty of democracy.
But Alleges, let me just ask you this question. So there's something different here.
Yeah.
When G5 governor in 2015 emerged, their movement were open, and there was so much decision. They take their decision immediately. They didn't wait this long. And looking at this same G7 group is taking, don't you think they're wasting time?
Thank you very much, Doctor. You know, then, when we had those governors, agreed governor from the new PDP that emerged before they now crossed to APC, it's more or less like a collation of interest, which is completely different from what is happening now within PDP. Now, what is happening now is more or less like an interest of a particular individual governor, whereby he decided to now lobby other 4 governors to join him in the fight against the national party of PDP. So it's a completely different thing. It's not, there's no relationship in between what transpired then in the G5 governors in 2015 and what is happening now in now. If you observe very well, what is happening now is more or less like interest of Nyesom Wike, Governor Nyesom Wike, His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, carrying Governor Makinde, Governor Ikpeazu, Governor the Enugu State Governor and Oyo and Benue State Governor. He decided to carry them along to in his own fight for his selfish interests over his defeat and over his loss of getting the running mate to the presidential candidate of PDP, which is completely different from what we saw during the time of Kwankwaso, Amechi, and other governors. Well, the room is still open for dialogue. That is exactly what they are saying now. And from what we read yesterday, PDP national body decided to woo former President Goodluck Jonathan to intervene in the matter. I doubt if Governor Nyesom Wike will listen to Goodluck Jonathan, but let's just keep our finger crossed to see how it goes, because at the moment, every day it seems as if the presidential candidate of PDP is losing ground. Losing ground is in the sense that days ago, we read it on the national dailies, whereby the governor of Bauchi State, whom people assume to be pro Atiku, is now coming out to say, look, he's threatening to withdraw from the Atiku presidential campaign council, because according to him, he said his own interest in his own election in Bauchi is at stake due to Atiku undermining his interest. So this is a problem that continues to linger, and as it continues to linger, we now discover that Nyesom Wike is now catching on the loopholes to his own advantage. And what is his advantage? His advantage is to see that PDP did not win the 2023 election. And so far, to me, the danger is ahead. The result is not too pleasant for now, except if the Goodluck Jonathan that is called to intervene and something positive comes out of it. Otherwise, I don't see the possibility of Atiku coming out of it victorious.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Discuss that. Still on this day newspaper, we have Obi. We will return Benue to being Nigerian food basket. That is from
Labour Party.
Obi. We have 74 hospitalized, 70 vehicle damage as Tog attack Atiku's campaign in Maiduguri. It is a lie. Nobody attacked the rally, says police. PDP condemned development, says party will sweep pool in Borno. Others declare Tinubu APC can secure 25% in 24 states.
You know, it's a normal thing in politics, whereby as you make one step, you decide to amplify it to create that tension within your opponent, and that is exactly what they did. The only thing that I find it very disturbing there is the attack. You understand? This is a Borno state whereby you now have insecurity, but you are seeing a lot of talks, and now they are now coming out to cause chaos. It means that they have not learned their lesson from over 10 years of.
No, but police said nothing like that happened.
But there are visuals regarding that. There are pictures, there are videos regarding the attack. It's like that is exactly why you now decide to see President Goodluck President Muhammadu Buhari now called on police days ago that say, look, they must ensure that the election is hitch-free, whereby they play the neutral role. But in this case now, we are now seeing pictures from that Maduguri of what transpired yesterday, and the police is saying no, there is no attack. Then what happened? Is it that the PDP now staged the attack against themselves to now blackmail the APC?
So can we just look at the possibility of the APC? According to the PDP, they said that they will sweep off, they will take over Benue, Borno, so I mean to say. Then also APC can secure 25% in 36 states. How possible? Because this is a ruling party, and with
apart from the
achievement in the government.
And then apart from that, again, you know, when they made, to me, it's more or less like a rhetoric threat, empty threat, because Kashim Shettima is from Borno. You can understand? Are you saying that Kashim cannot secure 25% vote from his own state? Are we saying, to me, it's more or less like,
Governor Borno
and Borno State Governor who is a peculiar governor that people he has been credited with performance. So to me, probably you just revise the PDP statement to mean that probably they are not going to secure that 25% vote from the number of states that they called. Otherwise, I don't see PDP with the current problem, challenges they are having now. I don't see them coming out to secure that kind of victory in almost all the 24 states that they mentioned. Although in a electioneering campaign, the so-called rally here and there, you discover that the same people that turn out for this PDP rally, when APC decide to hold their rally there tomorrow, they will still turn up. These same people will still turn up again. The same thing if Labour Party decide to hold a rally, you will see them too. So you cannot use that rally to now make as a yardstick for your victory. Probably, I don't know how the PDP intend to do that, but let's watch and see.
Okay, we still have one of the top story story on this day. And OITF, Cairo raised the alarm, a large threat to life. That is coming from the MD of
GMD of NNPC.
GMD of NNPC. And why they're saying that something is wrong. Something
is definitely wrong, because the moment that NNPC raised the alarm that to say, look, on daily basis they are losing 700,000 barrels of crude oil. When you quantify that into monetary term, you discover that we are losing millions of dollars on daily basis. And when you put it in a paranorm, you discover that billions of dollars is going. Who are the people behind this thing? So you now see that, look, will these people just watch their hand to see that NNPC decide to take away their meal ticket from them? You understand? That is the situation here now. But the fact is that if Kyari is now raising alarm to say, look, these people are coming after me, after my life, the fact is that he is just a GMD. And what NNPC is now presently doing now in terms of the contract between Tompolo, the contract they awarded to Tompolo company to safeguard the pipeline in Niger Delta, even if Kyari is not in office today, that contract will still continue. And it means that the security NNPC put in place will continue to remain. So it's beyond Kyari. That threat to his life, to me, is more or less like it's uncalled for, because all along, all these years, they have been making money from oil bunkering and oil theft. To me, by now, if the music change, what we're expecting from them to say, look, that illegality should also stop, so that they can channel their money or their wealth into some other legitimate venture, instead of continue to remain and continue to be a menace to the economy of Nigeria. But like every greedy mind, they won't stop until government bite. Government should rather sit up now to say, look, whoever is caught, they should, to me, looking at those ones that come with their vessel to load crude oil from there, is beyond that. It's an organized crime. Organized crime, there are people that are behind it. Those people that are behind it probably are sitting comfortably in somewhere in Abuja, in Lagos, or abroad, or anywhere. NNPC should be able to carry out thorough investigation in conjunction with the law enforcement agency to make sure that the people behind this oil theft are being nabbed. Unless we nab them, unless somebody is used as a scapegoat, this oil theft will certainly continue, and that threat to life, it will continue too.
All right, next to discuss this morning will be on the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper we have, let me read out. We have, I told aggrieved governors my worry, Bala Mohammed. That was the visit yesterday.
Yes.
So AMCOM received 307 billion debt. 307 billion debt. ANEC to sanction 23 workers for illegal registration. And also have the same page, front page, we have 28 killed in Benue clash, government demand probe. 28 killed in Benue clash, government demand probe. So what are these things we have? So we have controversy surround Atiku convoy attack in Borno. SVP convoy attacked thrice, score injured, APC response. SPC responsible, pardon me about that. APC responsible, PDP chairman, that is from PDP chairman. PDP faction behind attack, count APC out, but I know APC chairman was.
Yes, let's just look at the AMCOM that received AMCOM issues, and let's also look at the INEC. What is your stake in that area? Well, AMCON has become something like an insurance buffer to businesses in Nigeria, whereby bond. You discover that over some time, a lot of big men, a lot of people that will, in quote, that will refer to them as big men, the manner they go about their businesses, at times, it calls for concern. Take, for instance, somebody would go to the bank, take loan, and he would deliberately refuse to pay back the loan. Whereas you, as a commoner, when you take a bank loan,
the bank will chase you.
They will chase you. They will not allow you to sleep. So by the time they allow this loan, they will take this loan in billions. And this loan, when they refuse to pay in, it will become a bad debt. Then they will not make the organization behind the loan become insolvent. Eventually, AMCOM will now take over the company so that they can recoup and back the loan. So that is the situation. It's really a source of concern, and I believe that this continue to linger because we have not been able to get it right. If AMCOM should be able to sanction whoever, no matter how highly placed that individual is, they should be able to penalize and sanction the individual, confiscate their properties. Some of them, they have buildings everywhere, they have chains of other businesses everywhere. When they confiscate it, publish their names, make sure that they shame them, publicly shame them, you discover that other people will think twice before they embark on any particular loan, whereby they will just take a loan and decide to disregard the payment, disregard the bank, disregard all the norms. Some of them, they will even say, okay, if I should take like 2 billion, I will set aside 300 million for court cases, and they deliberately refuse to pay back. If you don't pay back that loan, how do you think that loan that's supposed to revolve so that other organizations too can access it, they will refuse to pay? And that is the situation we find ourselves. You discover that during the Obasanjo time, you discover that the number of banks were many, but today it has shrunk, although it was a bank consolidation. But so the banks that are existing
have more coming up now.
They are coming up now, and they are. But we see this issue of this is bad debt still remain. That is the situation, and that is why AMCON is worried. Well, the other side, which is INEC.
INEC, yes.
Yeah, INEC. INEC is talking about a credible election come to 2023. It must start from, the sanity must start from inside within themselves. They should be able to show example to Nigerians within themselves. The chairman is saying that, look, 23 persons were caught doing wrong registration in a location that they are not designated for PVC capturing. So it means that these people are being caught. Since they are being caught, what is remaining now is for them to be penalized based on the law of guiding the INEC. They are staff of INEC. Quite okay, they are staff of INEC. They should use them as a scapegoat for order ahead of 2023 election. By the time they are being sanctioned, you discover that other INEC staff who have the same thought of manipulating the result through conjunction with the politician they will eventually decide to like say no, we are not going to do this because the law is there to take care of whatever thing we do.
All right, so let's just look at, I think, let's just say a big congratulations to Nigerians. Still on the Punch newspaper, please, still on the Punch newspaper. Let's also congratulations to about 6 Nigerians that emerged
in the US election.
The US election. That is, we are peculiar people, and I think that is, if you read Mr. President's statement yesterday, he's so satisfied and he wished them successful administration. What does that really tell you? That Nigerians are occupying positions,
vital position outside, and they are doing very well.
Yes.
In fact, Nigerians in diaspora, they have been doing very well. One aspect of this, like US like has become like a home to almost everybody, all races, not like only this thing. But here in Nigeria, it's so difficult for us. Why is it so? You discover that Dr. Israel, if you are born, for instance, take for instance like in Kano, you have some people from the East that we are not talking about the first generation, we are talking about third generation of people from the East that are their own great grandfather were born in Kano. But they cannot contest to say they want to go for a local government council, or they cannot continue contest. But you now see that people that migrated from Nigeria to like US through job, not those ones that are even born there, people that migrated there, eventually they now got that citizenship, and today they are now occupying the seat of as a senator or a Congress member in the state. That is the beauty of it. That beauty, we should be able to like translate it to here. To me, unless we now decide to imbibe that culture to say, okay, inclusiveness, open up to everybody, otherwise we will not progress. US is progressing. It doesn't matter wherever you are coming from, provided you want to like contribute your quota to the growth of the society, you will be taken along, and that is what is happening there. But here, you still have the issue of you are not indigenous, you are this, you are that, you are Muslim, you are Christian, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba. And all of us are the same.
And that has affected us so much.
It's affecting us so much.
Yes.
No matter how an Igbo man is born in Kano, no matter how educated he is, no matter how he's contributing, don't forget that these people, they are contributing to the development of the state through taxes. But you cannot aspire to, for a ordinary councillor of a local government, you cannot aspire to. You discover that, like, if you go to Sabongeri in Kano, I don't know whether you know Kano very well.
I know Kano very well.
If you know Sabongeri occupy like 3 local governments in some state. That is with a very huge population, huge economic importance. But you discover that probably somebody who doesn't reside in Sabongeri is the one that is the councillor or local government chairman of Fege, whereby he doesn't know anything regarding what is happening within Sabongeri. And then you will now discover that when you don't have a representative, that development will not come to you. You see our brothers, our black brothers, Nigerian brothers from here in the US, they could aspire, and you see white men campaigning for them and giving them their mandate to say, represent us. It's so wonderful. At times I keep on asking, I say, what manner of people are these people? Why we are here? I'm sorry to say that it's as if it's a black man problem here.
All right, so next we discuss will be on the leadership newspaper. On leadership newspaper, we have police deploy armed drone in strategic location. You saw that video when we were doing that training. That was yesterday and the day before yesterday. Police deployed armed drone in strategic location. We also have speculators green as Naira gains sells at 780 per dollar.
Yeah, as of yesterday.
As of yesterday, yes. Because even as of yesterday, I also tried to do investigation about the report, and when I called some Bureau de Change people, they now told me that there is no Naira. So that's the strategy of reducing. Yes, so they're not giving out, no exchange. So basically, just to crash. I think they have to improve on this.
I believe that before we step into 2023, I believe CBN will be able to do more, so that at least if we can reduce to at least 500 naira per dollar, it's a bit reasonable. I believe that is what they are working on.
Yeah. So we also have in leadership newspaper, we have regardless of who wins 2023 election, tough time lies ahead.
Well, let's
just discuss that.
Yeah, this is economic projection. In just that here we try to like try to like play politics in everything. If you remember, in 2014, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who was the Minister of Finance then, she said something that Nigeria tough time ahead, and she said that we are borrowing. But you understand, because of the politics, our kind of politics that we're playing here, when Buhari now came in, and Nigerians are like suffering. Nobody want to remember the red flag raised by Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala then. So that is the situation with us here. We already know that there is problem on ground, and whoever step in, it's not like going to meet the bed of roses. It's not going to be like a bed of roses. I believe that whoever is contesting to become a president in 2023, they should have a working plan on the table, so that by the time they are being inaugurated, they should hit the ground running. That there's no time to say, okay, you want to study. After you study, before you do your appointment, you take like 6 months again before you do your you appoint your ministers, your constitute your executive cabinet. No, there's no time. We already know that there is problem on ground. Since there is problem on ground, whoever is contesting, whoever is aspiring to become the president in 2023, by the time the election is held and the new government is stepping, that person to constitute, it should take more than a week or two to constitute the executive cabinet members, so that all arms of the government will be working towards solving problem. At least, if we let's start like say, okay, 2 points agenda to say, okay, the agenda of stopping the insecurity, the agenda of putting the economy back on track, whereby the economy will start working. Then, before you start talking about the third point, which is infrastructural development. Infrastructural development, there is another bigger problem. Bigger problem is in the sense that for the past 5 to 6 to 7 years now, we have been running budget deficit due to the shortfall of oil revenue. And then again, we are not talking about forex problem. It's not like it's going to be like a bed of roses. Any government that is coming in, you are going to tackle the issue of revenue.
Revenue, yes.
Which is crucial. Where are you going to get that revenue from to fund your budget? Already, the 2023 budget is over 20 trillion, and government, based on the government projection, is that they are going to like raise to 8 trillion through revenue here. Then what about the deficit? Where are you going to raise it from? So both PDP, APC, even the APC that is like a ruling party, they should have be able to like start thinking to say, okay, where are you going to raise money to fund this budget? You understand? So that is the situation on that the reality that they are going to deal with. So let's watch and see.
All right, still on the leadership newspaper, we have NNPC board chairman 10 months after Ararume sued PMB for 100 billion over sack. Remember, he was appointed and later was removed immediately.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting case because it all comes to the Act of Parliament of NNPC board, whereby is it that the president doesn't have that prerogative power to say, okay, you must spend the number of years that you understand, but government has its own way of doing things. They will decide to say, okay, you understand, they will not cook up a kind of allegation to say this is this or this is that. But it's going to be an interesting case since he has taken the legal dimension. The legal dimension, eventually the court will decide. And but if you ask me, I will say I don't see any light victory for the applicant. I don't see any victory on him because.
Why will you say that?
It's said that the president has the prerogative power to elect whoever he appoints or whoever he.
Well, when he was first appointed and sacked immediately.
But there are some other appointment too that I don't like that to say, okay, I appoint you and be sacked, and then nothing comes out of it. Understand? So probably, people are these big people, they know how to do their things. Eventually, probably the Mr. President will decide to say, okay, let's reward him with something else. Probably that is what he wants.
All right, so let's take a look at eight Nigerian Americans win in the U.S. midterm elections. Call for humanitarian ministers remove her unnecessary said presidency. Big story there is PDP leaders wore Jonathan to placate aggrieved governors. That is PDP governors. And let's just look at the humanitarian. Why would they call for her removal?
Well, the removal is, everybody is entitled to his own opinion, how you see a particular case, you understand? So, but the people that are calling for the removal, I believe they have their own reason for that call. But let's just watch and see.
All right, so the next to discuss this morning will be on the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian newspaper, we have Why I Set My 5 Children on Fire by Suspect. You recall, like 3 days ago, yeah. Actually 3 days ago, 4 days ago, the man was arrested, and we also discussed it on Fake News. And now there are a lot of confusion yesterday, as late as yesterday from the investigation, and he gave a detailed story. Let's just hear from him.
To me, the first thing, instead of police to give him that audience to air his own side of story, no matter his reasons, lives have been lost. Life of 5 children, although he's their stepfather, life have gone. You understand? The first thing that I expect the police to do is to ascertain his mental ability, whether he's physically okay, whether he's mentally sound. Because to me, by the time you decide to commit a heinous crime such as this, when you take the life of one, you should have a rethink before you attempt the life of the second person. But we are talking about 5 children, the whole of 5 children. So what was on his mind? What kind of reason, what kind of explanation is he going to give now that I took the life of 5 children that my wife had from another marriage? Understand? So it's really sad that we have a lot of, I'm sorry to use the language, lunatic. We have a lot of lunatic walking around as a sane human being. To me, it's really insane for any human being to commit such a murderous act.
All right, so we will still have more to discuss on our national newspaper review this morning. Next to discuss will be on Nation newspaper. Nation newspaper, we have Atiku promise to revive Lake Chad fight insecurity. 8 Nigerians win the U.S. methane poll. We still have Why I Set My Stepchildren tablets suspect. And we also, same Nation newspaper, we have 193,000 PVC yet to be collected in Kwara State. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Few more solutions than those that
they have done, they are capturing, they have done everything, but they are yet to collect that is the problem. See, there is something that I keep saying.
So let me ask you this one question. Do you think any particular opposition won't go and, get access to this PVC and make use of them?
No, Dr. Israel, if you look at the...
Will that be possible? Is there any possibility of that?
It's not possible. It's not possible because if you look at...
Not forget, previously they usually...
No, but not this particular one. That is why INEC has been insisting on beavers. Politicians, they have taken INEC to court regarding the use of beavers, but INEC insisted that they are going to use it. It's because of the technology behind it. The technology behind it now is facial recognition. It's not only about your thumbs again. So if anybody that present any PVC, the current PVC, now, if you present any PVC, it's your facial that will capture. So if it doesn't match, definitely it's going to be thrown away. So it's a different thing this time around. So the only thing that we will say now is that sensitization should be there. That look, if you have already done your PVC, please endeavor to go there and pick up your PVC, no matter the number of time, the number of hours that it will take you, or the number of days that it will take you to get it. Please endeavor to go out there and get your PVC, because your PVC is like your license to be able to vote in 2023 election. Then again, another thing again that we must tell Nigerians is that if you are talking about the government is not good, government is that, you are suffering, you are doing this, you are doing that, the opportunity is coming for you now to be able to decide on your future for the next 5 years, or let's say by the next 4 years, by 2023. That is that opportunity for you to decide on who govern you as a governor, who govern you within your state assembly, and even at the federal level too. So you shouldn't just relax, fold your hand, and sit back and keep on wailing and complaining. No, time for lamentation has passed. Everybody must be part of what is happening in Nigeria, and for you to be part of what is happening in Nigeria is through your voting. Go there, collect your PVC. It's not only Kwara State. We are talking about Kwara. Probably there are some other states too that they are facing similar problem. You understand? People now have done their PVC. Go there and collect it. I believe that by the time Nigerians decide to pick up their PVCs all. That 90 million that INEC is talking about, by the time that election is held, I believe that we should be able to get up to 60 million to 80 million voters.
All right, so we still have oil theft threatened my life, says NNPCL, GMD. EFCC, we are investigating crude oil theft. ICPC, NETTI demand transparency. I have fear for my re-election, Bola Mohammed cried out. He cried out yesterday. Bauchi, 5G governors visited him yesterday, which he said that
that is working with them, that is in alliance with them.
So are we now CG instead of 5G?
you see, one thing I understand that is that although he's crying out, we have the 5G governors, and the 5G governors, none of them is seeking re-election again. So, and apart from Wiki,
somebody said that they're looking for safe landing. Did you really believe so? Well,
see, there is always a power when you are working like a group. You understand? And I believe that by the time any other opposition decide to say, look, these guys, there are 5 of them, 5 governors. You understand? Recall that Wiki had met with Peter Obi, so also he met with Tinubu too. So it's like they are trying to remain within PDP, but eventually they'll work for any of the opposition party. That is exactly what they are trying to do. But Bala Mohammed, if you ask me, is he facing any threat from his own state? If there is any threat, definitely it's not going to be the same thing like Wike is having in Rivers. Although Wike is saying that some people within PDP in Rivers are working with Atiku, of which he called them enemies of the state. You understand? I don't think it's the same scenario in Bauchi state. Although these are politicians, then what they consider as an aggrieved thing is not the same thing to what other people will see within the ambit of common sense. So let's watch out and see.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's also look at the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper says truck drivers block Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway in protest. Angry over bad roads, extortion by soldiers and thugs. We also have panic in Maiduguri as gunmen attack Atiku campaign convoy. Score injured, hospitalized. I'm not resigning as PDP candidate campaign boss. Udom. You know, there's a news that was 4 or 5 days ago.
2 days ago that he's going to resign, that he has threatened to resign. And he came out and he said, no, I'm not resigning. You understand? You know, a lot of back forth and here and there, accusation here and there. But thank God he now came out and said, look, I'm not resigning anything. The excuse they gave then was that he's suffering from positive found that Atiku is not funding the campaign. Well, I don't think, although I don't know, we don't know the internal working of PDP, how they are going to raise their funding. But being a state governor, I believe that the state governor should be able to fund the campaign within the state. And the zone, probably is talking about the South-South zone campaign funding. But it's good that he now came out to debunk that claim that he is about resigning.
We're still on the Daily Sun newspaper. We have Wike Ibazu Oto meet Wo Bauchi governor hours after Atiku's visit. We still have 2023, over 27 states have successfully taken delivery of beavers. And that's INEC from NHN. Yeah. Explain decision to store sensitive materials with CBN. How safe do you think these CBN materials
will be handled? Well,
you know Nigeria very well.
Yeah, these are very sensitive materials. But let's not forget that, look, in the same CBN, there are some other more sensitive things that matters to not only Nigerians, but worldwide. Dollars are in CBN, and they are safe. You understand? If dollar could be in CBN and be saved.
No, at this point now, I am not, not everybody is interested about dollar.
Yeah.
Everybody is interested about who will be the president of Nigeria.
What?
And do not forget that in the state we have powerizing. So someone can let you look, find out what is there, what is component, what happened there.
I don't think anybody can penetrate CBN to say, okay, make attempt on CBN to say I will, except if CBN decide to be an insider job to say, okay, And I don't think any branch controller of any of the CBN branch would decide to say he would. And the CBN is just like a safekeeping. Keep this thing. It's not like a branch controller will have access to what is being kept there. The treasury is something that it has the treasury or the safe box is not to something that everyone will have access to. So if this is not the first time, let's not forget that this is not the first time that CBN hosts sensitive electoral material for INEC. The distribution, once those materials, those PVCs and materials have been taken from INEC offices in Abuja to all the states, the first land, it will land in the CBN, and the CBN will, from there now, that is where they now disburse to every polling unit. The only problem I see is how secure will those materials be during the process of transmitting them from CBN to their various locations. And that is why I now discover that in every election, both the police, the army, and the other military, even paramilitary, now join the police to safeguard all these materials. So I don't think that anybody will make attempt to sabotage INEC during the process of transportation of these materials, order from the CBN or the transportation to their various units.
Before we read out our last newspaper review this morning, in case you're joining us for the first time, this is Aspheric TV. We're on social media. Do not forget to join us on social media handle on official Aspheric, that is on our Facebook handle, and we're also on our Aspheric News on our Instagram, Aspheric News, and our Twitter page. Do not forget to read more about our content, our breaking news stories on www.asphericsnews.com, and also do not forget to call on us or send an SMS in case you want to join our competition early morning conversation, especially especially the topic interest to you. You are free to call us on WhatsApp on the number before you display on the screen, +234 809999 8117, and I repeat, +234 809999 join us. Let's also look at the Daily Trust newspaper. In Daily Trust newspaper we have controversy trial attack Atiku convoy in Maiduguri. We'll be discussing that. Yeah. And there's something interesting me here. Let me read out. It said, we were attacked by hoodlums carrying APC flag. That is former President Atiku saying that. Then there is a reply from the police, said it is fake. Campaign rally held peacefully. That is police. Then talks arrest. State managed to score cheap popularity.
The fact is that, let's use what happened in Borno as a limited test for what will happen in other places. Police, they should be able to sit up to say, look, this happened here. It shouldn't repeat itself again in other places. You understand? Especially in the north here, whereby you discover that anything that starts from politics, eventually it will lead to some other serious problem. We have seen that before. In 2011, we have seen that election now led to killing of. It started from the killing of NYC Youth Corps members that participated in the election period, and eventually it now became something like a religious crisis in the north. So police should be able to they should say, look, this thing should not happen again. They should conduct the investigation thoroughly. If they are saying that, look, those behind the attack yesterday was like a fake thugs to blackmail the APC,
the government.
You understand? They should be able to conduct their terror investigation and provide proofs. Then the PDP too, that they are accusing the opposition, they should be able to provide their own proof to say, look, the APC, those behind this attack are APC. The mere accusation will not stand. If accusation, okay, what if the people now that the police now arrest decide to come out to say, look, we are being sponsored by PDP to carry out this act? You understand? That is the situation here. So, but the bottom line is that the police, they are the law enforcers. They should make sure that this thing should not happen anywhere again. This election is still a bit far away. It's just like a 3 months to go. And we are going to see campaign here and there. It shouldn't repeat itself anywhere again to say, okay, hoodlums or miscreants or thugs, political thugs or whatever thing we'll call them, they shouldn't carry out such thing anymore.
All right, we have interesting story. Petrol to cost 410 without subsidy. Don't you think it's more better if the subsidy money is being utilized?
Yeah. But the fact is that we are looking at it from the angle, from two angles now. So, okay, if government is not paying subsidy, then that subsidy, that money, that subsidy
is less than $1.
That subsidy is going to be
but hold on. That is less than $1.
It's less than $1, but it's telling on the people that are buying. And don't forget that, look, the people that are buying the commodity, they are buying the PMS, eventually, take for instance that the transporters, if they decide to buy it at that amount of money, let's say 500 naira per liter, certainly the transporter, the people that
they will now sell on 600 naira.
You understand? So you discover that eventually it's Nigerians that will still bear the brunt. Dr. Israel, let's not forget that in 2016, we recorded inflation, hyperinflation, because of the hike in the fuel. Until from that time till now, we have not been able to recover back. So I believe that if what government should emphasize on now is that eventually they will remove this subsidy. But let's just wait until, all along they have been talking about Dangote refinery. If by the time Dangote refinery come on board and some other refineries, the modular refineries come on board, eventually the price will adjust. But for now, if they decide to remove it without making any adequate arrangement, certainly will continue to suffer it economically.
But don't you think that if we're able to achieve that it will reduce, the infrastructure development in Nigeria will not improve, especially from the government side.
Yeah,
but there will be more money to spend.
Yeah. In 2022, over 7 trillion was budgeted for subsidy. 7 trillion going into, let's say 7 trillion by the time they inject 7 trillion into railway infrastructure. You know, see, at least some of these projects that are ongoing that is suffering positive of fund, like take for instance, like I saw Minister of Transportation days ago complaining that the Chinese refuse to give them money and they are going to source for loan from any other source now to fund the Kaduna-Kano standard gauge rail line. So if that's, by the time government remove that subsidy, such amount of money can be channeled to a critical infrastructure that will serve and be beneficial to all Nigerians. But what we are saying now is this: if government decide to remove that subsidy, with this current arrangement to say, okay, we are importing fuel, the landing cost, they will tell you that the landing cost is like 400 naira. And eventually, from independent marketers will say, okay, by the time they distribute the fuel around to the pump stations, you discover that they will now say they start charging for 600 naira per liter. And when they are charging 600 naira per liter, transporters will adjust the prices of their fare. Yeah. And that market woman that is moving moving commodities from one point to another point will adjust the price too, and the end consumers too will pay more. And when we are talking about the end consumer paying more, what about the income? Your salary is not increasing, but so much is taken from your salary in the name of this subsidy removal. That is the problem now.
Right, this is the end of our Aspheric Morning News Update today. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. In case you are joining us for the first time, do not forget to follow us on our social media handle displayed on the screen. Do not forget to call on us on the WhatsApp and send us SMS, and also communicate with us if you have any story around you want us to communicate with. We'll remain Aspheric for you. We'll give you breaking news, we'll give you updated stories. We want to thank you for joining us this morning, and I want to say a big thank you. Also want to say a big thank you to our guest, Alhaji Mustafa. I want to say a big thank you to you, and also all the entire crew. I want to say a big thank you to every one of you for joining us this morning. Thank you, and remain blessed until we come back again next time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
you.